Hey, welcome back to the discussion about wargaming in the 20th century and some of the highlights of science fiction wargaming that we've covered before. The gaming system we talked about, the Epic 40K. Last time we showed you some of the Imperial units, things like these armored personnel carriers. They're called Rhinos, sort of modeled after the military M113s from the US military, and the Space Marine soldiers, the ground infantry of the 41st millennium. But my favorites were always the Orcs, with their classic clunky looking device technologies. Here's a death roller in the front of the tank. It allows them to attack enemy units and destroy them by squashing them. As they said, they like the soft squishy kinds. Those are regular soldiers, or the hard crunchy ones. Those are the soldiers with the powered armor on, those Space Marines. So we also had things called Titans. Now this was a Knight Titan, and you can see it's supposed to represent a giant battle robot. If this 6mm guy represents an individual soldier, you can see how big these guys are. These are the smallest Titans. They were just individual units. There were other ones that were much bigger. This is just the base of something called a Orc Mega Gargant, which was the Orc equivalent of a Titan, and mounting a whole battery of weapons and systems and armor and so forth that was designed to just roll over top of the enemy's units and seize the terrain that was being attacked. There was, again, a lot of it was colorful, an attempt to get the graphics. Here's the banners that you would attach to the units so that you could understand these were ultramarine, these were ultramarine units. And then we had Space Wolves, we had World Eaters, and a bunch of others, Horus, Sons of Horus, and so forth for the Chaos, which were the evil guys in the unit. So, anyway, a lot of details were spent to try to create systems that allow you to manage effectively. You got dealt out unit cards, so you could decide how many points you were going to have in a particular battle. Use the cards to keep track of the units that were assigned. Then you set up the terrain. There were movement rulers that were used to actually tell you how fast you could move and how far things could fire, so that the ranges were calculated using millimeters, and the size of the weapons effects were demonstrated by using these kinds of templates, these circular templating systems that you could put on the map to show that there was a particular kind of thing, like a vortex or a dazzle field, or they didn't have smoke, obviously. They had other kinds of technology. So these were used to cover the battlefield and show you what was happening with the weapons that were being used against the enemy. So a lot of fun. We used to call these beer and pretzels games because you get a big bowl of pretzels and a couple of 6-packs of beer with your college mates and sit down, and by about 3 o'clock in the morning, the battle was usually resolved, or you were out of beer and out of pretzels, and either way it was time to call it a night. And that's where we're at now. We're going to call it a night. Thanks for watching. We'll cover more in the future episodes.